And he said there was a revelation on Thursday concerning a lady who has fibroid, and he never knew who the person was. But if it is me, I should place my hands where the mass is very visible.
You looked past my sin, my guilt, my shame, and poured your love. You look beyond me, oh. You look beyond me, oh. And I'm the one that you have shown mercy. You have shown me mercy. You have shown me mercy.
My name is Ajay Blessing Choma, and I'm here to return glory to God for my life. On the 14th of October 2015, I had a major operation on fibroid done. 6 years later, I started experiencing difficulties and heavy flow. On Sunday, I was in church here with my husband, and I was having serious pains. But I told him, instead of going to the hospital, let's come to church. We came to church together. Later that evening, I noticed that I was bleeding, but it was not heavy. Then later around 3 early in the morning, I started having serious bleeding, like the bleeding that would fill a custard bucket. He woke up that very moment and he was scared. He started cleaning the blood and he was looking at me. Even me, I was unconscious at that very moment. The blood that was coming out was not stopping for 7 good hours. He was looking at me, I was looking at him. He was saying things, I didn't understand it, but I knew that the God we serve would never fail me at some point. So early in the morning, he said, let's go to the hospital. I told him I don't want to go to the hospital. That the best thing at that moment was the God who has actually brought me to this life should take the life which he has given to me because the pains were too much. At a point, he said, no, you're coming with me. By 10 o'clock, he took me up and we went to OBO clinic. On getting there, they said, you have multiple fibroid all over again. And I told the doctor, that is your result. Though my faith was not strong enough, I told him that the Bible said affliction shall never again arise the second time. But if that is not my case, the God who has made me should take the life in which he has given because the pain was too much. At that minute, I was still bleeding and I was changing blood consistently. So he told me, okay, go back and do a scan to confirm if it is fibroid or not. On getting to the pyramid diagnosis center, they said, yes, you have multiple fibroid and you need to remove it all over again. I went back to the doctor and the doctor said, you see, you have to remove it, but let me check if it is very visible. On touching it, it was too visible, as in the growth was very massive, and any person that checks my tummy at that moment will see that the growth was too big. And when I checked the result, it was 7.65 centimeters. When I looked at it, I just laughed because at that moment my faith was gone. When I got back to the house, the only thing I was contemplating on was just commit suicide. I checked around the house, there was nothing I could use to commit the suicide. My husband was not in the house, he was in the office. Everything was painful. I was asking myself if this is the life that God has actually designed for me. A few minutes later, my husband came in and told me, call the chaplain in the church we just started attending. And I looked at him, I said, okay, fine, if your faith is strong enough, I will call him. I called him at that moment, he didn't pick. A few minutes later, he picked up the phone and asked me what the problem is. I explained to him from the moment in which I did my operation 14th of October 2015. And he said there was a revelation on Thursday concerning a lady who has fibroid, and he never knew who the person was. But if it is me, I should place my hands where the mass is very visible. And I did that very moment, even though I had no faith. And behold, that very moment, the mass that was very visible was nowhere to be found. And the blood that was flowing ceased that very moment. I am here today to return glory to the God of this commission who never let me die, nor never let the blood kill me. I have come here today to thank the God of this commission because I am alive today to return glory to the God of all God.
You have shown me mercy. You have shown me mercy. I am the one that you have shown mercy. You have shown me mercy, God. You have shown me mercy.